What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday morning. I'm feeling especially positive today. The sun is shining. It's been absolutely miserable here in the UK for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been raining, but the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and it does look like today will be a good day because Rasmus Hojlund looks set to become a Manchester United player officially. The wait is over. We will hopefully get to see him today in that beautiful new Manchester United shirt. But as always, before we jump into this morning's show, I do kindly ask that you smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's jump straight on into the show. So on the show this morning, guys, of course, we're going to be talking about the main topic, which is Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United. We're going to be talking about what's going to happen next around that one. We're going to be talking about the centre-back situation a little bit more because we have got some more news on that for you. We've got a little bit of news about Harry Kane as well, which I think will interest some of you. We're going to also be talking a little bit about financial fair play because I know quite a few people in the chat have been asking me, Kieran, how are we spending all this money? I thought our budget was only 120 million. So we are going to have a little chat about how Manchester United have managed to ultimately buy players this window. We're going to be talking about Donny van de Beek, Fred, Amrabat. We've got so much to get into, but as always, do get involved in the comment section. Do let me know. If you're watching. And yeah, let's jump straight on into the show. Let's start off with the positive. Then I like to do positivity on this channel, so let's start off with that. Rasmus Hojlund looks set to become an official Manchester United player today. So this is coming out from David Ornstein. David Ornstein, who obviously writes for The Athletic in the UK, is reporting the following. Rasmus Hojlund will travel to Manchester today to undergo medical ahead of completing proposed transfer from Atalanta to Manchester United. Obviously, he says what the fee was, and then he says there will be a deal signed, a 5-year contract with the option of 1 extra year. For anybody who's been living under a rock for the past few days, the deal will be as follows. It's a 60 million upfront fee for Rasmus Hojlund. So 60 million upfront guaranteed, and then we also are going to be paying £4.3 million in what are being described as achievable add-ons. So that will be like if he plays 50 matches, okay? And then there's also a further £8.6 million in what are being described as difficult add-ons. So this will be if he scores a certain amount of goals, if we win the Champions League, if he gets the Ballon d'Or, stuff like that. So immediately, all we're actually paying for Rasmus Hojlund is 60 million. I know that's a hell of a lot of money. I know some people are still unsure about the fee we're paying, but 60 million up front, we it's done now. We've got to just move on. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I think 60 million is fine. It's a little bit more than what we obviously would have hoped to like to pay, but there's no point obsessing about it anymore, is there? And then as soon as that happens, okay, he'll then go and do his marketing photos, all the rest of it. And I do expect that we'll either get the announcement later on today, probably this evening or tomorrow morning. So by later today or tomorrow morning, we will see the pictures of Rasmus Hojlund in the Manchester United shirt. And from what we're hearing, Rasmus Hojlund will feature against either Atletico Bilbao or Lens. Remember, guys, we've got 2 pre-season matches this Saturday and Sunday. I think he'll probably feature in the one at Old Trafford. I think he'll probably be unveiled to the Old Trafford crowd. So I think that's on Sunday. Let me just double check. But yeah, apparently he will definitely be featuring in one of those games. I'm not sure which one yet. Yeah, so it's on Saturday. On Saturday, we play Lens at home as a pre-season friendly. So yeah, we are expecting him to be involved, and it also is expected that he will be training with the rest of the squad by tomorrow, Wednesday. So yeah, it's exactly what we all asked for. It does look like we've got our player, we've got our man. I very highly doubt he'll fail his medical. People don't usually fail medicals, do they? So hopefully by later on this evening, we'll see him in the shirt and we can kind of all just celebrate that moment and then start moving on to the next one. Right, but let me know how you're feeling. Are you all still really excited about Rasmus Hojlund? Let me know in the comments section. For me, I'm absolutely buzzing. I really, really am. I think he's going to be an absolutely quality player for us, and I cannot wait for him to start. I just can't wait to see him start playing football, to be honest, because as much as I love talking about transfers and stuff, like, we're all here for the football, aren't we, at the end of the day? And I just can't wait to see him pull on that Manchester United shirt, go out onto the Old Trafford pitch, and hopefully start banging in some goals for Manchester United. That's what we all want, isn't it? What I am going to ask you, actually, is this. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, how many goals will Rasmus Hojlund score in his debut season for Manchester United? Let's say how many goals will he score in all competitions, all right? I'll give my answer as well. So let me know in the comment section, how many goals will Rasmus Hojlund score in his debut season for Manchester United? I'm going to say he'll score 20 goals in all competitions. I reckon he'll get about 15 in the Prem, and then I think he'll get a couple in the Champions League, a couple in the FA Cup, and a couple in the League Cup. So yeah, I think he's going to have a good season. I do. I've got high expectations for him. Yeah, I'm not trying to gas him up or hype him up too much at this stage. I know he's still very, very young, but I do have high expectations for him. And at the end of the day, there isn't really many other striker options. So I do think he's going to get a lot of game time. I do think he'll play a lot of minutes. Yeah, so I'm really, really excited. But do let me know in the comment section, how many goals do you think Rasmus Hojlund will get in all competitions this season? I've gone with 20 across all competitions. If he gets that, I'll be absolutely buzzing. I really, really will. Even if he gets 15, I'll be happy. You know? Let me ask you this. If he gets 20 goals this season, do you think he automatically kind of proves his worth? Because I do. If we pay 60 million for him and he gets us 20 goals this season, then I think he's already kind of justified his price tag. I think if he scores 5, obviously people will say that's not good enough. But if he gets 20, I think that would be really, really good. So yeah, let's stay positive. Let's give him a bit of time because, you know, he might take a couple of games to, you know, to get, you know, just to get things together. You know, he's coming to a new league. Obviously, he loves Manchester United and all the rest of it. But yeah. Right, let's talk about the financial fair play thing a little bit because I've had so many people... I've had so many people in the comment section saying, like, Kieran, how the hell are we buying all these players? I thought we only had 120 million. What's going on? What's going on? So there has been a bit of clarity around the financial fair play situation. So how financial fair play works is it's done in years of 3. So this was coming out from Laurie Whitwell. So Laurie Whitwell has said the following on the financial fair play. He says, for financial fair play, United can sell later, including January for the accounting year. Fred and Dean Henderson are the most likely to leave right now. So I did a bit of research into this, and apparently we have until April 2024 to balance our books, okay? So we can spend money now. We can bring in Amrabat. We can bring in another centre-back. We can bring in a goalkeeper. We can spend the money because Manchester United have around £200 million on the company credit card in the rolling credit facility to spend on players. So the money is available. We have the money available to us to spend right now. The only issue is obviously complying with financial fair play. But as I just said, we have until April 2024 to balance the book. So we can buy players now. We don't need to sell to buy. It just means that eventually we will have to sell. Does that make sense? The only issue with that is obviously if you, if you bought loads of players now and then other clubs know that you need to sell, then you're probably going to get less. You're going to get less than what your players are worth. Does that make sense? So say we bought Amrabat, a goalkeeper and a centre-back now, and all the other clubs then know that we need to sell to kind of balance our books. They would say, all right, well, we're only going to give you 10 million for Fred now. Do you see what I mean? So I get why Manchester United are doing it this way. And they're kind of being like, well, we could keep Fred. You know, they're playing it like that, which does make sense because at the end of the day, we're so bad at doing transfers anyway. Imagine if the other clubs know we need to sell. They're going to be like, oh, we'll give you 2 million for Fred. We'll give you 3, you know? So it does kind of make sense. But yeah, I mean, we do even have the money to go and buy Harry Kane. We do. We have it available in our credit facility. We have the cash there to go and buy Harry Kane. We just have to sell some players after we bought him to kind of balance the book. So yeah, it is a bit of a strange one. But yeah, just don't let people tell you that, you know, we don't have the money because we clearly do. You know, we've signed Rasmus Hojlund for 60 million guaranteed. We've signed Mason Mount for 55. All right, what's that already? That's 115 million. And then we've signed Onana for, was it 40 or 43? So we've spent about 170 million pounds already. And we're still going after Amrabat, a goalkeeper and a centre-back, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, yeah, when everybody tells you that, you know, we don't have the money, we're on really tight budget and all the rest of it, that's not actually true. It isn't. And obviously, as we've said many, many times before, the main issue around Manchester United is the wages. If our wages were brought down, which they have been, to be fair, our wage bill has come down in the last kind of 6 months. You know, getting rid of Ronaldo, getting rid of De Gea, getting rid of people like Phil Jones, etc., etc. Our wage bill is coming down. So yeah, I do just think that this whole financial fair play thing was just a bit of a myth made up by the Glazers. I know it does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but the kind of the extremities of it that they were making out that, you know, we're not going to be able to buy any players this summer. We're on a really, really tight budget and all the rest of it. It's like they've kind of bended the truth there a little bit. So yeah, just kind of remember that. Yeah, we have until April next year to balance the books because it's done by tax years, which are April to April. So yeah, it's not as desperate as people think, and we can go out and get Amrabat now. We can get that deal done. I just think that they want to bring in some money before they start buying more players, which does kind of make sense. I do get it. We've got 450 people watching now, which is absolutely amazing. Please do smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't already, and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, and we're growing so quickly. So please, if you are new, go and subscribe. We're live every single day at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. I've just dropped a link in the chat to subscribe to the channel, so do get involved. Got a really, really nice community here. So yeah, do let me know. Do let me know if you're new as well. Right, let's carry on with the show. But I just wanted to bring that in because for so long in this transfer window, we've been told the budget's 120, the budget's 120, then it's 170. You know, it just keeps creeping up and up and up and up. And at the end of the day, the Glazers just clearly didn't want to spend the money, you know? Or maybe they just didn't trust themselves to be able to sell players. I don't really know, to be completely honest with you. And people saying to me, oh, does this mean they're staying? Does this mean the Glazers are staying? I don't know, to be completely honest with you. I don't. I've heard some people say that they think that Sheikh Jassim's pulling the strings from behind the scenes. I mean, it's a possibility, isn't it? I'm not sure if I fully believe that one, to be completely honest with you. As much as I would love that to be as much as I would love that to be true, as much as I would love Sheikh Jassim to be sat somewhere, you know, picking all the players, I'm just not sure if I believe it at this moment in time. I do think, though, that we will get some news on the takeover before the season starts. I think they'll have to. I think before that Wolves game, which is less than 2 weeks away now, I do think that they will have to kind of put out something, because otherwise it's just going to be protests. There's going to be people walking out of the stadium. It's not a good way to start the year. So yeah, we will of course keep you updated on any takeover related stuff, but as it stands, everybody is being kept in the dark, which, as I've said to you many times before, I don't actually mind too much, because usually when stuff is quiet, it means that stuff is happening behind the scenes. That's what usually happens. You know, we're not having Rio Ferdinand say that somebody's told him it's going to happen tomorrow. We've not had a newspaper in Qatar say, you know, it's gone very quiet, which I don't think is actually a bad thing. But right, let's move on though. So we've got a bit of a story coming in from David Ornstein about Harry Kane. So obviously, as you guys know, Bayern Munich are really pushing for Harry Kane at the moment. I think they're about to put in a bid of £80 million. So we've had this story come out from David Ornstein saying that apparently Harry Kane has been a Manchester United target since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the manager. Current boss Erik ten Hag is also an admirer. So there is still an interest in Harry Kane. It's just whether... I honestly think that if Fred, Donny van de Beek, Dean Henderson, Maguire, McTominay, I honestly think that if all of these players left the club, we would go in for Harry Kane. It just all depends on timing, doesn't it? We're not very good at selling players. We really are not. And I can't see any of those players kind of leaving in the next week or so. So, yeah, I do hope we go in for him. I really do. But as we spoke about on the show the other day, the massive issue with Harry Kane is his wages. He's on 425 grand a week, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's on crazy wages. Yeah, I personally probably would be put off by that, just purely on that. He would be a great signing, though. I definitely agree. What have we got here? Yeah, it is frustrating. I know people in the chat saying it's frustrating we've been kept in the dark about the takeover, but it is what it is, isn't it? There's not too much we can do about that. Right, let's move on with the rest of the show. Let's keep things rolling. Right. Where are we? Here we are. Okay, so we've got a bit of news on one of our young players. Now, I assume everybody's watched some of the pre-season matches, but Noam Emeren, one of a really young attacking player who's obviously done really well in the pre-season tour. It looks like he will be going out on loan this season, which is really exciting. It looks like he'll either be going to Sunderland or Rotherham, who are in the Championship, I believe. So yeah, it looks like Emeren will be going out on loan. Yeah, really excited about that one. Really excited about this player. I think he could go on to be a really special player in the future. But yeah, let me know what you think about the kind of the current crop of young players that are coming through the academy. Is there anybody in the academy who you're really excited about? Is there anybody who you think is going to break through into the first team? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section, out of the youth players, who you think could go on to be a future Manchester United player. For me, obviously Kobe Mainoo stands out. I think he could definitely be a Manchester United player. I did like that Emeren guy. I thought he looked quite good, but I'm not sure whether he will become a Manchester United player in the future personally. I really like Alvaro Fernandez, the left back. I think he could definitely go on to become a first team player, you know, years down the line. But other than that, I think those are the only two that I'm really excited about. But let me know in the comment section, who do you think from the youth academy can come through? Obviously Matish Kovar as well, but he's kind of already been involved a little bit, hasn't he? But yeah, there's something else I want to talk about, which isn't necessarily transfer related, but it is obviously Manchester United related, and that is about Andre Onana. Now, I just want to say, honestly, the amount of press that this story has got is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure you guys all saw in the game against Borussia Dortmund the other day, Harry Maguire supposedly did something wrong, and Onana shouts at him, right? Literally every single UK media outlet, The Athletic, BBC, TalkSport, every single one of them have been questioning whether Onana was right to have a go at Harry Maguire. I mean, what is wrong with people these days? It's so frustrating, isn't it? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? why is that an issue? I put a tweet up about it last night, and honestly, I just don't understand it. I really, really don't. Like, people's agendas it's so boring. It really, really is. So this was the tweet I put out last night. I said, I'm not going to lie, I'm sick of this narrative about Onana and Maguire. I have all these platforms publishing stories, questioning / criticising Onana's behaviour, never seen how Schmeichel used to command his defence. The agenda is boring, and we haven't even played a proper football match yet. I mean, what a load of rubbish, isn't it? Like, what does everybody think about that? I think it's honestly a disgrace. I really, really do. And I don't know why they do it. I assume they're just doing it for the clicks. I assume they're just doing it to try and cause a stir. But, you know, you seen like Gabby Bongnahor on TalkSport, and he was like, oh, he wouldn't do that to Martinez. Whereas the game before, he does exactly the same thing to Rafael Varane, you know? That's his job. He's the goalkeeper. He's got to command his box. And you've got these pundits who probably didn't even watch the game. They probably just saw a clip of it on Twitter, right? They probably didn't even watch the game. And then the next day they come out piping up about why Onana was wrong to shout at his defenders when they did something wrong. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. It really, really is. And it really, really frustrates me. And I thought it needed to be addressed, because it is honestly an absolute joke, isn't it? Like, we want our goalkeepers to be commanding. We want our goalkeeper like Peter Schmeichel, where he's there, and if the defenders do something wrong, he shouts at them. Like, that's what you want. You need to have some sense of accountability. You need to learn from your mistakes. Like, we live now where literally Harry Maguire gets shouted at, and everyone's like, oh, he's being bullied by Onana. It's really mean. It's just like, come on, they're professional athletes. They need to set these high-level standards. But yeah, I thought I would just bring this in because it really, really does frustrate me. It does. And I just hate that already Onana hasn't even played a proper match for us. And you can already see that all of these people, like the Athletic, TalkSport, they've already got an agenda against them. They're already like, how dare he speak to Harry Maguire like that? Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. It really, really is. And I thought it was important to mention just because it has frustrated me. Yeah, and I hope you guys are feeling the same thing. Like, I expect him to do that to any of our players. I don't care whether it's Rashford. I don't care whether it's Maguire, Bruno. I expect him to do that to any of them. You know, that's his job. Like, so anyway, let's move on from that. But I just thought it was important to bring in because it was quite frustrating. Right, let's talk about the centre-back situation. We've got some news on Harry Maguire. There's a story coming out last night saying that apparently West Ham are considering putting in a second bid for Harry Maguire. How does everyone feel about that? How does everyone feel about the Harry Maguire situation? I definitely do think he needs to leave the club. And if he does leave, it does look like we will go in for Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice, who is a player I like, a 23-year-old French centre-back who obviously, as I said, plays for Nice in the Ligue 1. I think he'd be a definite improvement on Harry Maguire. I really, really do. I don't think Harry Maguire is suited to the way we play. I don't think Harry Maguire, he's not respected by the fan base, you know. I'm never abusive towards players, but I understand that people don't think Harry Maguire is good enough to play for Manchester United. I 100% agree with that. So I just don't know why he's holding on. I really, really don't. And it does look like West Ham are going to come back in with a second bid for Harry Maguire. We don't at this stage know how much it will be, but I imagine it will be somewhere between 20 and 30 million pounds. Yeah, for me, I said this on the stream a couple of days ago and I was getting absolute abuse for it. I would have taken the 20 million pounds at this stage. I really, really would. If we get 25 to 30, amazing, but I would have taken the 20, you know. I know it's a negotiation tactic. They might offer 20 and then they might offer 25. I get that, but if they don't, if we're stuck with him next season, I will be annoyed. I'll have said that's 20 million. We could have gone and invested in somewhere else in the squad. We could have gone and get another defender. We could have gone and got another striker. We could have, you know, but yeah, hopefully I'm wrong and hopefully West Ham do formalise a second bid and come back in, even if it's for 25 million or 25 plus add-ons. Like, I'll literally take, I'll take anything at this point. Keeping on the topic of West Ham, it does look like as well that they're going to come back in for Scott McTominay. Apparently they had a verbal offer rejected last week. We don't know how much that offer was for, but there's a story coming out a couple of days ago which has been kind of backed up, saying that apparently Scott McTominay is now the main target for West Ham in the defensive midfield option. So it does look like they will come in for him. Obviously, David Moyes is a massive, massive fan of Scott McTominay. He'd be available for around 40 to 50 million reportedly. Let me know what everybody thinks about that one. Do you think that Scott McTominay is good enough to play for Manchester United? How much would you want from West Ham in order to sell Scott McTominay? For me, again, I'd take anywhere from 35 to 45 million. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's good enough to be playing for Manchester United every single week. And if we can cash in on Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire, that could be 70 million in the bank. 70 million pounds, which we could go and reinvest somewhere else. You know, we could get another striker. We could get another attacking player. Because for me, after watching that pre-season, we're still really, really struggling up front. I know Rasmus Hojlund hasn't come in yet, so it's unfair to judge, but we really, really are struggling in the forward positions. We are. And we need to raise money to go and buy another striker, because I honestly think that one striker on his own, Rasmus Hojlund, is not going to be enough next season. I've said this to you multiple times on this channel. I honestly think if we went and got Harry Kane as well as Rasmus Hojlund, I genuinely think we'd be title contenders. I do. I'm not saying we'd win it, but I'd say that we would compete with Manchester City. As it stands, with just Rasmus Hojlund, I think we'll get top 4, and I think that's still a good season. But yeah, I don't think him on his own is going to be enough. And for that reason, I would definitely do all I can to raise money, go and put in a bid for Harry Kane, or even go for someone like Kolo Muani, Gonzalo Ramos, get 2 strikers. And I think we'd be really, really good then. I do. Because that's the one thing that does worry me for the season upcoming. You know, I like to do positivity on this channel. I'm not a negative person, but I am worried about where we're going to get goals from next season. Because last year, how many goals did Rashford score? Was it 30? He probably scored most of our goals last season, you know? And we need it to be more evenly distributed this year. We need Antony to be getting 15. We need Sancho to be getting 10, 15. We need Rashford to be getting 20, 30, you know? We need Hojlund to get 20, 30. We don't just want one player to be getting all of our goals next season, because that ultimately, last season, a lot of Rashford's goals were just like him taking the ball, being greedy, and then scoring a really good goal, you know? And we do need to see goals from other people this year. And I'm just not confident that in our current attack, we have a massive goal threat. We have some quality players, but as Ten Hag said in his press conference the other day, if anybody saw this, after the game against Dortmund, he came out and said in the second half, the people were playing as individuals and not as a team, you know, and that was directly targeting Rashford, Bruno, all of the kind of first team players. So yeah, I'm really, really worried that, you know, unless we start playing a bit more like a team, I do think we're going to struggle to get goals next year. I do. Our defence is solid. I think our midfield is going to be solid with Mason Mount and hopefully Amrabat. But I am a little bit worried about where our goals will come from. Obviously, Martial is back. Some people in the chat will be like, why the hell are we even talking about Martial? But an informed Anthony Martial, I think he'll get you 10 to 15 goals. I do. He's a good player. If he stays fit, I think Martial will contribute. So I'm not going to sit here and slag him off, because I honestly think we need him. I really, really do. And informed Martial is a good player. He's dangerous. He is. So yeah, let's hope that Anthony Martial stays fit. Let's hope that he comes back stronger. He doesn't get injured again. And let's hope that he does actually contribute this year, because obviously last year was a terrible, terrible season for him. He was injured for probably 90% of the season, wasn't he? I think he scored maybe 5 goals. But when he did play, he did look good. And we know that Erik ten Hag likes him. What does everybody think about Anthony Martial, though? Do you think that... I honestly think that this year could be his redemption year. I just have this feeling that he's going to do really well this season. I'm staying positive for Anthony Martial. I definitely will let him go on a free transfer, though. His contract expires in 1 year from now. So Anthony Martial will be leaving Manchester United next season. Let me ask you this question, actually. Say Anthony Martial, right, scores 20 to 30 goals this season in all competitions. Would you give him a new contract? Let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, he's got 1 year left on his deal. His contract expires this time next year. If he scores 20 to 30 goals in all competitions, do you give Anthony Martial a new contract? Let me know in the comment section. Me personally, I mean, he's only 27, isn't he? I probably would. If he has a really good season this year, I probably would give him a new contract. But I wouldn't pay him the amount of money he's on now. I think he's on 250 grand a week. Yeah, he is a quality player, though. I genuinely believe that. He is a quality player. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section. Would you give Anthony Martial a new contract if he does get 20 to 30 goals in all competitions this year? My only condition would be if he doesn't get injured at all, which is obviously impossible. Of course, he's going to get injured. And he got 20 to 30 goals, then I would probably consider it. But yeah, in all likelihood, we'll probably be sat here in a month from now saying Anthony Martial is out for the rest of the season or something. So, yeah. For me, I still would sell him. I would sell him to Saudi Arabia. Apparently, Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in Anthony Martial's signature. So yeah, if it was up to me at this moment in time, I would sell him to Saudi Arabia. I would get that deal done. Obviously, he's fit now. I would wrap him up in cotton wool, and I'd say, Anthony, you know, you've been a good servant for this club, but it's time to go. Yeah, so there was a story coming out a couple of weeks ago saying that apparently a Saudi club is in talks to sign Anthony Martial. Now, that story's gone very, very quiet. We haven't heard anything else about that since. So, yeah, as soon as I get more information on that, I will bring it to you. But as it stands, it does look like Anthony Martial will be kept at Manchester United this year, although there is reportedly Saudi clubs who are circling for his signature. I assume everybody in the chat would say, let's get rid of him. I don't think anybody would honestly want to keep Anthony Martial if we got a big bid coming for him, would we? You know, if somebody offered us 20 million plus for him, I would 100% take that. Right, we've got 600 of you in the chat now, which is absolutely amazing. Please do smash a like on the video if you haven't already, and please do subscribe to the channel. We're 70 subscribers away from 7,800, so let's see if we can hit that by the end of the video, guys. We're only 70 away, so do go and subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free, it doesn't cost any money, so do get involved. Somebody says, where is financial fair play when it comes to Saudi clubs? I don't think there is financial fair play around Saudi clubs at the moment, because I'm not sure though, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Do Saudi? Yeah, here we go. I'm pretty sure Saudi clubs don't do financial fair play. Yeah, because it's only Europe, isn't it? Financial fair play. It says, yeah, I don't think they're regulated the same as English clubs, as far as I'm aware. Because obviously they're not in Europe, are they? And financial fair play is like done by the European body. So as far as I'm aware, there isn't financial fair play. Let me see. Because you do realise, right, and with the Saudi clubs, it's funded by the government. The government is running the league. They pick the players that go to the certain clubs and allocate budgets to the different teams. So yeah, I don't think it's only in Europe. It's only in Europe for financial fair play. So yeah. Right, let's move on with the show though. Let's keep things moving. I wanted to ask you about this actually. So obviously we've just spoke about Harry Maguire and spoke about the potential of West Ham coming back in for a second bid. Now, if we do sell Harry Maguire, who would be your preferred centre-back option? Obviously, we've been linked to Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice. Obviously, we were linked to Axel Disasi from Monaco. Kim Min-jae, obviously those two have both gone now. But who would be your preferred option as the replacement for Harry Maguire? Let me know in the comment section. For me, I would either go with Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich, or I would go with Jean-Claire Todibo. I probably would go with Pavard if I had to pick between the two, purely because Pavard can play at centre-back and he can play at right-back. So I think that's a really good player to add to the squad, because ultimately it gives Ten Hag options. Yeah, and I think it would be a really big upgrade on Harry Maguire, to be completely honest with you. I do. So yeah, I would go for Benjamin Pavard. We have been linked to him, but there is kind of talk that he's just trying to get himself a new contract. So I'm not really too sure at that point. Let's have a look what people are saying. Some people are saying Todibo or Tomori. Yeah, Tomori would be amazing. Someone's saying Bella Kotchup from Southampton. Pavard. Yeah, lots of different opinions. Do keep them coming in. For me, I would go with Benjamin Pavard probably. But yeah, if we could get someone like Tomori, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Yeah, people saying the guy from Nice. Yeah, Todibo. I think Todibo has a release clause of around £40 million, which is obviously a lot of money, but he's only 24. He's 23, very young player. Could go on to be someone very special. So yeah, I think he is worth every penny, to be completely honest with you. Somebody's saying Jules Koundé from Barcelona. Miles says, would you cash in £100 million for Rashford and get Mbappe? I don't think that's a really hard question. All right, I mean, I'll ask the chat. Would you, if someone offered you £100 million for Marcus Rashford, would you sell him? I'm not sure. Obviously, it's hypothetical. He's just signed a new contract, so we're not going to do that. But I don't know. I just hope that Rashford has a really good season, because I've already seen, like, literally, I don't know what is wrong with some of our fan base, honestly. And this is something I'm never going to do on this channel. I don't know how this has started. I don't know why it's so toxic. I don't know what kind of has started this toxic trend around Manchester United. But literally, after one game, that Dortmund game, you've already got people making like clip compilations of Rashford saying he's a flop, like why are we paying him this amount of money, etc, etc. And it's like, you've had people already saying that Mason Mount needs to leave because of 3 pre-season matches. You've had people saying that Onana's not as good as De Gea. Like, honestly, I'm just going to tell you now, guys, that that's not something that I would do on this channel. I'm not going to throw people under the bus like that. And you might say, oh, God, Kieran, you're saying Harry Maguire needs to leave. I've never said anything bad about Harry Maguire in like a really nasty way. I've just said I don't think he suits Erik Ten Hag's system. I think he needs to go and move to someone like West Ham, who play a more defensive style of football. I'll articulate my reasons for not wanting a player at the club in a respectful way. I won't just make a clip compilation showing Rashford miscontrolling a ball and saying that he's a flop and he needs to get out of my club. Like, honestly, that's something I will not do on this channel. And I just hope that like everybody in the chat isn't kind of feeding into that whole thing, because honestly, it frustrates me. It really does. And it doesn't help the team, and it doesn't help the players' confidence. But yeah, that's my rant for the chat over. Right. I'm going to set up a poll for this bit of the show. We've just hit our likes target. I'm going to get a poll set up now. Right. Whilst I'm setting up a poll, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe if you haven't already. And the question's going to be... Let's have a look. So the question's going to be, where will United finish this season? All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just setting up a poll. As you know, it's just me who does this channel. So, right. So the question is, where will Manchester United finish this season? Get involved in the poll and let me know your reasons for your decision in the live chat. I'm going with, I think we'll finish third again this season at this point in time. But as I said, if we sign Harry Kane, if we sign a world-class striker, as well as Rasmus Hojlund, I think we can challenge for the title. I honestly will say that now. But yeah, at the moment, I'm saying third. We will do a video in about a couple of weeks' time saying... with our kind of season prediction. So yeah, look out for that one. But at the moment, it is always difficult to predict this earlier on in the season, isn't it? To say where people are going to finish, because obviously we might sign more players, we might sell more players, but just try and give your opinion at this point, and obviously we can revisit that in a couple of weeks now and see where we all are at with it. So let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about Mason Greenwood really quickly. I know a lot of you in the chat are asking me about Mason pretty much every day, which is fine. That's up to you. So Fabrizio Romano has reported the following. Manchester United are expected to announce a decision regarding Mason Greenwood's future before the Premier League starts on August the 14th. He goes on to say that it's only up to the club. Erik ten Hag will not be responsible for any of the decision. He will discuss Greenwood's future right after the club's decision. So it does look like we will get clarity on the Mason Greenwood situation by the 14th of August, so less than 2 weeks away now. Obviously, we play our first game of the season against Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 14th of August, and apparently we will know what's going to happen with Mason Greenwood by that date. At the moment, I literally do not know what's going to happen here. I really don't. The thing that I want to emphasise again from Fabrizio is that the decision is only up to the club and up to the Glazers. It's not up to Erik ten Hag. It's not up to any of the players. It's not up to the captain. It's literally just a decision that the manager will make. I do think at this stage the best option for him would be to loan him out, I think personally. Yeah, I mean, it should have been done. This decision should have been made weeks and weeks ago. The only thing that's making me a little bit unsure about it is, like, obviously we had this story a couple of days ago that apparently Adidas had approved his return, didn't we? And then quite quickly after that, Adidas put out a statement saying that they hadn't approved his return, right? Or they hadn't spoken about a player or something like that. But the fact that Manchester United have just signed a new 10-year contract with Adidas yesterday, right? Because obviously he was with Nike before, wasn't he? I mean, I just don't know. I honestly don't think that they're going to get rid of him. I don't. I think they will keep him at this point. Yeah, but from a footballing perspective, I've said this to you guys many times on the channel. I don't think Mason Greenwood coming into the squad now is going to, change us from 4th place to 1st. I don't. So I think that they probably won't have him playing this season personally. But yeah, it does look like he probably will stay, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, we don't know at this point, but I would be very surprised if in 2 weeks' time they say that they're terminating his contract. I'd be very surprised, because they could have done that months ago. They could have. If they wanted to terminate his contract, they would have done that months ago. So yeah, I reckon they will keep him in some capacity, which I know will excite some people and also upset some people. So yeah, let's move on to something else. Let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about Sofyan Amrabat, who, as you know, is somebody I absolutely love and I cannot wait to hopefully see in a Manchester United shirt. So, as Fabrizio said a couple of days ago, obviously as soon as the Rasmus Hojlund deal is concluded, which we are expecting to be today, Manchester United will then go all out for Rasmus Hojlund. So Sky Sports are reporting in the last kind of 10 hours, they say that Manchester United's main business, once Manchester United have concluded the Hojlund deal, they then will focus on the signing of Amrabat. And there's also a story coming out from Fabrizio Romano saying that Sofyan Amrabat's priority is Manchester United. He would love to join the club. And apparently he's even gone as far as saying he's waiting for Manchester United. So yeah, what does everybody think about that? Very excited about Amrabat. Somebody I absolutely love and somebody who I think will be a quality player for Manchester United. So hopefully this happens. Hopefully we get this deal over the line, because I really do think he'll massively improve our team. I do. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Obviously, there was a story coming out yesterday saying that we were also interested in Romeo Lavia from Southampton. I don't think there's any legs to stand on that one, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think Manchester United will go for Lavia. I don't think he's available to us. Liverpool are obviously leading the race for that player. I do really like him, though. I do think he's a quality player, but I just can't see him joining Manchester United. to be completely honest with you. Right, where are we? Right, let's talk about Donny van de Beek and Fred really, really quickly. I mean, what on earth is going on with these two players? Fred obviously didn't go on the tour. He's back at Carrington training with Eric Bailly, I believe. Like, how are Fred and Donny still at the club? Like, I don't get it. So in relation to Fred, apparently the deal with Galatasaray is complicated. That's what Fabrizio Romano is reporting. So it doesn't look like Fred is going to go to Galatasaray anymore. So Fabrizio has said the following: in the last few hours, Fred to Galatasaray has become complicated. Other clubs are now entering the race. So he does report that Fulham, clubs in Saudi Arabia, there's about 3 or 4 different clubs who are all trying to sign Fred at this moment in time. I just hope that we get this deal done quickly. I do. The season starts in 2 weeks. We need him out of the club before the season starts, because any money that we get, we can reinvest then. Fred, that's an easy 15, 20 million in the bank. You know, that goes and gets us Amrabat. We need to get this done immediately. We really, really do, because we just need to move on from it. I just don't want to talk about Fred anymore. In relation to Donny van de Beek, I don't think it's going to be as quick, unfortunately. So there was a story saying apparently Real Sociedad in La Liga we're going to come in for Donny van de Beek, but that has now been dismissed. Multiple different Spanish journalists are reporting that Donny van de Beek will not be signing for Real Sociedad. So with Donny, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I really, really don't. I am wondering whether he'll go back to Ajax potentially on loan. Do you think that's a possibility? I'm not really too sure. Like, what would you guys do with Donny van de Beek? I said this on the show yesterday. If it was up to me, I would sell Fred, sell McTominay, and keep Donny van de Beek. My reasons for that are: Fred, you'll get 15 to 20 million left for, and he's only got a year left on his contract. Okay, take the money. McTominay, 26 years of age. He's on about 60 grand a week, which makes him affordable for most clubs in the Premier League. You can get 30 to 40 million for, right? Donny van de Beek, his stock price is at rock bottom at the moment. Nobody's probably going to buy him, okay? The only option you can do with Donny van de Beek is a loan at this stage. So for me, I would cash in on Scott McTominay, cash in on Fred. That's probably about 40 to 60 million there combined. Use that money to buy somebody else, and then just keep Donny van de Beek for one more season. That's what I would do. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. If you had to pick between those 3 players, what would you do? Would you keep Fred? Would you keep Donny? You know, what would be your kind of dream scenario? As I said, mine would be sell McTominay, sell Fred, and then keep Donny van de Beek for one more season. Hope that he improves. Hopefully his form gets better. If he doesn't, then obviously you can let him go next year. But yeah, I definitely would not loan out Donny van de Beek. I see absolutely no point in loaning him. It's not like he's a youth player. He's in his mid-20s. So yeah, I would keep him, sell the other 2 who actually have some value, and then kind of move on from it. But yeah, I think that's the best way. I will read out a couple of your questions as well in a minute, guys. So if you do have any questions, do let me know in the comments section. Drop them in the comments and I will read them out. And let me just have a quick look where we are. Quite a lot of people saying they would keep Donny van de Beek. That's good. I think he does deserve a bit more time. I do. Whereas you've got to think with McTominay, it's 100% profit if we sell him. He's come through the youth academy. It's 100% profit straight back into our transfer kitty. Very, very easy to make some money from him. And I do think Donny's a good player. He's intelligent. He obviously was part of that team with Eric Ten Hag when they had the really good run in the Champions League. So he clearly can play the type of football that Ten Hag requires. Whereas I'm not confident that McTominay can. I don't think Fred can. So I would just get rid of both of them. We need people at the club who play the type of football that Eric Ten Hag desires. And I do think that Donny van de Beek is that type of player. He can play Ten Hag ball, whereas I don't think McTominay and Fred can. So I'd get rid of them 2 personally. We've got about 10 minutes left of the show, guys. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We are now 60 subscribers away from 7,800. So let's see if we can hit that by the end of the video. Go and subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. Hopefully today we do get the official announcement of Hojlund as well. He will be doing his medical today, guys. So as soon as we get the official announcement, as soon as we get the official pictures, we will go live as always with the breaking news. So do make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Right, let's keep the show moving with a few other topics we've got to get into. Where are we? Okay, all right. I just want to talk about some comments that came up from Ten Hag as well. Let's touch on this really, really quickly. Now, I think this has been blown up quite a lot, hasn't it? I assume you guys have all seen how Ten Hag was speaking about the players after the game yesterday. Ten Hag was absolutely fuming. He really, really was. He ultimately came out after the Dortmund match and said, The players weren't doing as I told them. They weren't playing as a team. They were all over the place, etc., etc. He was absolutely raging at the players. He really, really was. And to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't. Like, those first team players who came on for that last half an hour against Dortmund, they really didn't do very well. They didn't. So I understand why he's really, really annoyed. But there was a few other quotes that he said that really interested me. He said, this is Ten Hag speaking. He says, from a compact block, we can press the opponent and at all different levels of the field. We have to be proactive in defence, and once the ball is recovered, we have to keep it or go in transition. I honestly just think that Ten Hag wanted to stay back in Manchester with the players, and actually have them on the training pitch. You can just tell that he hates all of these like media pre-season tour type things. Like you can just tell that he doesn't like them. And he did speak a bit about Jadon Sancho as well. I just have to say as well, guys, Jadon Sancho in pre-season has looked pretty good. He has, and hats off to him. He's clearly worked hard. He's been training hard. He looks like he's in good shape. And I think he's done pretty well in pre-season. And Erik ten Hag has said the following on Jadon Sancho. He says, Sancho is in a very good vibe. I expect a lot. He has a lot of energy. We have all seen that from the moment he came back. And then he was asked about Harry Maguire. So Erik ten Hag has spoken directly about Harry Maguire. He says, I will not say that Harry Maguire isn't part of this group. He has to fight for his position. He is a very good centre-back. Yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one. I mean, at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag said he wanted to keep De Gea. He said he wanted to keep Ronaldo and he got rid of them. So I don't really believe him there, to be completely honest with you. There's quite a few people in the chat asking about sales. There's somebody spamming about sales over and over again. So we will talk about sales really, really quickly. Ultimately, the question that I'm being asked is, when are the players going to be being sold? And you know what? I ask myself that same question every single day that I do this show. I honestly don't know. I don't. I don't know why it is taking so long to sell players. Dean Henderson's been linked to Nottingham Forest for probably about a year. And now they're supposedly talking to the Arsenal goalkeeper. I honestly don't know. I mean, even Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly's still at the club. Picture that. Eric Bailly still is a Manchester United player. He hasn't left yet. He's still training at Carrington. I've seen a picture of him and Fred. So Eric Bailly's still here. I honestly don't know. I really, really don't know. Obviously, there were stories coming in saying that apparently a club, Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, were going to buy Eric Bailly. Nothing's happened. I honestly don't know what's going on with the outgoings. My guess would be that we'll see a really, really big flurry of outgoings towards the end of the transfer window. I reckon we'll get a really, really small amount of money for them. Yeah. I think clubs are waiting because they know that Manchester United will get desperate. They know that Manchester United will want to sell these players, so they're probably holding on. They're probably waiting until the last couple of weeks of the transfer window. And then we'll start seeing bids come in. We'll see like a 20 million bid for McTominay. We'll see like do you see what I mean? I think that's what clubs are doing. Yeah, I honestly think that they know that we're an easy target to try and get players for cheap. They're keeping their cards close to their chest, and in a couple of weeks' time, we'll probably see loads and loads of bids coming in for our kind of players that are surplus to requirements. That's what I think's going on. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you worried about the outgoings? To be honest, I'm not really worried because I honestly just think that in the last kind of 1 to 2 weeks of the window, we'll sell like loads of players. I just don't think we'll get very good money for them. That's my only issue with it. I think we will sell people, but it will be for a really small amount of money, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, we're not good at selling players. We never have been. We're absolutely rubbish. Let's be completely honest with you. So yeah, I have to say our ingoings this summer have been okay. I think it's been like a 6 out of 10 so far on the players coming into the team. But in relation to outgoings, it's been terrible. We've sold Elanga and we've sold Alex Telles, and that's it. Like when you think about it, we've got Fred, Donny van de Beek, McTominay. Who else? We've got Dean Henderson. There's probably about another 6 or 7 players who should really be leaving the club this summer, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one in the comment section. Right, this feels like a good place to wrap up the video. It is approaching 9 o'clock. As you know, we do usually finish streaming at 9. As always, thank you so much to everybody who has joined us this morning. It's been a really, really good show. We are waiting patiently for the Hojlund photos in the Manchester United shirt. We do expect that to come today. As soon as we get that, as soon as we get the official announcement, we will, of course, go live. Please do smash a like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are live at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. every single day, so do get involved in the community, and if anything breaks during the day, we do go live as well. So do make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and please do smash the like button on your way out. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've been Kieran. I hope you guys have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Lots of love and peace out.